All right, everybody, welcome back to the Do Work LT. We're going to feature a video today that revolves around my 4Runner. So anytime we're out doing adventures or having some fun, this vehicle has become the base of operations and the method of transport to get anywhere and everywhere we want to go. But I want to show you something that's been particularly beneficial to me and many of my posse when we're out traveling, training, doing some other things as it pertains to storage in the 4Runner. Obviously, like any SUV, there is a nice amount of storage in the back, but it depends on what you are carrying around, how you want to store it, how you need to store it, what's the best and most secure method you can store it. You know, obviously, when you're dealing with a vehicle like this or some of the Jeeps and stuff like that, you might get into the Prince's or the Gobi racks with the stuff you're able to store on top, but storing on the inside is a particularly different kind of solution. So I want to show you a solution that I've come up with that's been very helpful to me and mine. So I wanted to share with you guys the Boss Strongbox, and this has been pretty nice. There's a lot of options out there for storing and solutions, and they'll vary in price. I know a lot of folks out there that want to build their own storage system. There's a lot of, excuse the traffic, of course it picks up when I start talking. There's a lot of solutions out there that can go into the sometimes multiple thousands of dollars to secure and put in your vehicle. Now this Boss Strongbox, you can find more information at bossstrongbox.com. A little hard to say, but this was the one that kind of struck my fancy. Its price point pushes up to almost $1,000, but it took me very little searching back in October. So I've been using this for several months. It took, I forgot what website, but pretty quickly I was able to secure a discount code for 20% off. So that took me down to about $800. I think these price at $995 right now. Took me down to about $800, and I was able to then have this thing delivered on a pallet very quickly. I think it might have been a week or so to my back porch for less than the $995, including the shipping. I think I came in around $971 ship. So let's check this box out. You'll see that it has a nice deck that is carpeted. So you're able to put a lot of items in here. And it also has these securing eyes where you could tie down some a little bit more expensive or heavy type things. I believe the box comes in around 100 pounds. So that is a bit to put on the back of your vehicle. This vehicle has an iBot Pro Truck kit, so it does have slightly beefed up rear suspension. So it didn't squat anything. It wasn't too much to put on this. If you're running any kind of equipment, it's probably not going to be a big deal for you. But let's get into the box. It ships with 2 keys, and that's pretty handy. Let me get this thing unlocked. That's locked, unlocked, pull it out. So you'll see here, you have a lot of good space. And I got my tape measure because I wanted to show you exactly what we were dealing with. You have a center divider, and you can either kind of orient it a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. So this right side, or this left side, excuse me, measures across 19.5 inches. Pretty good space. It measures in height 8.25, and you have a little bit of space, but 8.25 is about what we're talking about functionally. And lengthwise, we're at about 31.5. So pretty good dimensions for space. You see, you're able to have some of your boxes here. And here I have right now my tools, bottle jack, some extra equipment, and then some emergency medical equipment and other emergency equipment. So we're all familiar with the Apache 3800 size box, that type of box. You can see that 2 fit with ample room. You also see that when you're storing some things of a of a nature that need to be much more secured, you need to do it appropriately. Not only do we need to be concerned about theft of such items, we got to remember that 1, your car isn't a holster, and 2, your car isn't a gun safe. So we keep these things, if you're going to have something like this or transport something like this, you need to have it properly secured, because this glass, and everything being out in plain view, it's no go for best practice. So take a look at the locking items here, or the locking devices here. You see that it has a pretty heavy throw in the middle that extends out, that has bars that extend out and have a kind of a cross locking mechanism on both sides. So we have 3 very secure locking points on this item. You're not, obviously, like anything, if someone is hell-bent on getting into your stuff, they're gonna get in. But this is pretty good as far as an in-vehicle solution for tools, firearms, or something like that when you need to transport them and secure them properly. This is a pretty good solution. It's gonna slow them down pretty well. So it also features a little locking tab over on the left side here, that if you are parked on an incline or decline or whatever, it will keep the drawer from closing. And we like that, obviously. So I want to show you with it closed what we're talking about in deck height, because on a 4Runner, this vehicle came obviously with nothing in it. There's plenty of storage, but actually I don't think you lose much. We're talking about a foot of rear storage area height back here, and all we're doing is elevating the floor and organizing our stuff better. So now we have kind of a false floor. When you're looking at it from the outside, you just see this nice carpeted wide deck, and that's pretty cool. It secures at 4 points in the vehicle with the supplied turnbuckles from Strongbox. And you'll see here, I had read some reports from people that had had some issues with them loosening to a point where they actually chose to upgrade the turnbuckles that they were using on all 4 points. I'll show you the insides in a minute. But I have not experienced any of that. Put them in, torqued them down big time, and I haven't had any movement, any shift of the box system. I haven't had excessive rattling. If I've had rattling, it's because of the way I positioned a piece of gear in the drawer system itself, allowing something to knock on the outside. Now the inside of the storage parts themselves are carpeted also, so that keeps some of the rumbling down. And I always keep a wool blanket to kind of, for some of my things, because 1, keep a wool blanket, they're incredible for multiple uses, but it also keeps things from knocking around a little bit more and annoying me. I can't stand having that random knock. I'll pull over and try to find it before I'll tolerate that. Also, another complaint from people who haven't seemed to really look into it much, they say that it is difficult to remove the stupid factory jack. Now, I keep a bottle jack because I am on a lift somewhat, so the factory jack setup isn't really going to meet my needs, especially if I'm off-roading or something like that. But and if you're in a stock 4Runner and you use a solution like this, you can still access it. Come over here, maybe come around here, you'll see. It's just a little bit different. It's hard to see for the light, but you can absolutely get in here and get your jack and everything out. You just have to, you come out and then come up this way. But it is not a big deal. You do not lose the functionality or the access to your jack. Some people have said that, and I was concerned about it, but no, it's not really been an issue. Let's look at the inside real quick. So I'll come around the other side, but if you look in there, you'll see the factory supplied turnbuckles that go to the front of, and these are the factory points from the Toyota. I mean, it's rock solid. I check them every once in a while because, well, just to make sure nothing shifts or moves. I don't want that. But it hasn't been an issue at all. I've had no shift. So you can see here, how it looks. It comes up nicely to the seat. You do lose maybe the farthest rear setting that you can lean a 4Runner seat, but they do actually still go back about 2/3 of the distance that they could recline in the beginning. So again, I've loved this system. This has been off-roading. We have done some terrains that should have shook things loose, but didn't. And we're happy with it all around. A lot of the people that I've seen that also have 4Runners, who see this, they're like, man, I want that. I'm really, really happy with it and feel really good about the decision. Now, there's other cool stuff out there, and there were other systems that I looked at that had a lot of merit and clearly were well constructed. But the experience with Strongbox, how quickly they shipped, being able to find a discount code and all of that was a real positive for me. We're going to feature the 4Runner in a little greater detail as Do Work LT kind of builds up more here. So we'll talk more about the vehicle as a whole later, but we have the studio kind of coming together, and we'll be doing more inside. We'll be able to do more tabletop stuff as we go along. But we wanted to take a few minutes and talk to this system, or talk about this system with you. So again, this is specifically built for the Toyota 4Runner. There are other solutions out there that are tailor-made to your vehicle, so check them out. That is bossstrongbox.com. This is Do Work LT. We'll talk to you soon.